Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, is also, I believe, received by the White House and received by President Trump today. What does the Trump administration need and want from the Middle East?
Well, a couple things. First and foremost, no drama in terms of political optics. Secondly, Francine, they need to have some type of arrangement met that would double down on what we saw during President Trump's first year in office, particularly from a national security standpoint, where you're bringing the Saudis to the negotiation table to put pressure on Iran. We should note, of course, the Saudis' roles with also financial ties to folks like Russia as well as the Chinese. But the United States in particular has really tried to bridge this gap, both in the end of the Obama administration as well as with the Trump administration, to bring them to the negotiating table and even plant some seeds to get them to put pressure more on Iran as well. The third point is that to really continue to allow U.S. companies and U.S. multinationals to continue to make an imprint in the U.S. We all remember the investment deals that were announced in Riyadh during the president's foreign trip over there. That is something that is also going to be on the table. But this is part of a broader effort. We should note that the Saudi officials and the Saudi government officials are also going to be touring other U.S. cities, including Silicon Valley leaders, in terms of investment. So they really are using this as an opportunity to meet with the private sector as well as the Trump administration.
Yeah, and I know Guy will ask about the tech sector in a second, but is there a realization or a concern within the Trump administration when you look at the deals? For example, Saudi Arabia, I think, bought some of the defense missile systems from Russia. Is there a concern that the U.S. is losing ground in the Middle East to China or to Russia and to Russia?
Yes. Yes, that's a great question. Yes, there absolutely is that concern. And I think that that is going to be something that privately behind the scenes they're going to have to deal with. We should note Congress's role in this in terms of crafting pressure on the administration to be able to pressure the U.S. And the question that you raised, I can tell you that there are lawmakers in both parties who have privately risen those concerns and somewhat publicly, but more privately, about how the Saudis, despite all of this U.S. investment from U.S. companies, has still taken a look with Russia, for example, and that has irked, to say the least, many or several lawmakers the wrong way. But the bottom line is that there's this appetite to have a positive relationship. There's this wanting to have a positive relationship with the Saudis simply because of the historic relationship that we share with the Saudis, but also because of the important pivotal role that they play in the negotiation table, both geographically and economically, with regards to Iran.